Welcome all you True Takers to this edition of TruTalk. I'm your host, Jobert Palencia, and to my right,
Michael Phillips.
We are going to be talking about the Division 2. The beta just launched, and we played it over the weekend, and we're going to go over different aspects of the game to see what we thought and give you our take on if you should buy it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I played it for a couple hours with you, actually. We hit that up, and then you played a little bit more after me, so we'll kind of get both of our takes on that. Basically, I guess first and foremost, we'll talk about just the look, because that's going to be the first thing that you realize whenever you open that game up. The look, how's it going to be? What were you playing on? And then, see how it relates to other people with that.
So I was playing on my gaming laptop, which has a NVIDIA 1070 Max-Q card in it, and I thought the graphics were outstanding. I thought it was realistic, it looked great, there was a lot of things going on, very colorful, very vibrant, and even compared to the first one, which I loved, but I was playing on my PS4, I thought it was fantastic. And I believe this edition of the game really takes advantage of the Snowdrop engine too as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more there, Jobert. It's gonna look really amazing on just about any system, I think, that you have. Just all the effects, the lighting. I'm playing on an ultra wide. It's only 70 hertz, so it's nothing crazy as far as that goes. But I have some good color on mine. I'm running a 2070 graphics card, so we both get ultra settings.
2070.
So, exactly, the 2070. What did I say?
I think you.
I did.
I just wanted to make sure it was the 2070.
2070.
Not the 1070. No,
that's
you've
true.
got the whole RTX thing going on.
Got the RTX 2070, so I do have, but we can both run it on ultra settings.
Yeah.
So, we're not jockeying over on this one, but mine is amazing. But both have them on ultras. I got my ultra wide, and the colors are great. It looks fantastic. Even definitely a step above the other one. Of course, the first game I played on the PS4. So I was playing on my smaller gaming monitor and my big screen TV, and it looked great back then, but I can definitely tell a step up for sure.
So again, the performance was really great too as well. And again, being the beta, you'd expect a lot of things to go wrong. And some things did go wrong. There was actually one incident where I was trying to fire my weapon and it was working fine, but then I couldn't actually hear that sound. So I couldn't hear my gun firing. But when I switched to, say, my SMG instead of my sniper rifle, I can go ahead and hear that. So the sound actually came through. I thought that was really weird. Hopefully they get that fixed and ironed out before the release, I think in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it was great.
Yeah, mine, similar. I didn't really have anything game-breaking with mine. I know later on you ended up getting kicked off, but we couldn't really tell if that was an internet issue or a game issue or what exactly that was.
Definitely was an internet issue.
No, perfect internet over here for sure on both fronts right there.
I'm not running gigabit, but I'm running pretty fast.
Yeah, we got the internet down, so doubt it was that. Probably something game related, and it was interesting. We didn't have that issue until we went into the dark zone.
Right.
So that may be where it went awry, but it was still fine for me. But yeah, you ended up getting kicked. But the only thing that I saw was just something kind of funny. Was I had it was some debris or something that was literally just floating while I was shooting something. I was shooting at some enemies behind cover, came up, and then I felt like it was like a typewriter or something. I don't know what it was. It looked like maybe a register or something from like a store. So our next point would be sound. I normally don't really pay a whole lot of attention to that in games. If it's enough not to take me out of it, then it doesn't really matter. But I do have a pretty nice little xCloud 7.1 simulated surround sound, the HyperX Cloud 2s. So I'm able to get a little bit better sound nowadays, so I can pay attention a little bit more. What did you think about the sound?
So I was using a Cooler Master headphones too as well, 7.1 surround sound, and I thought the sound was incredible. And there's so many things to talk about too. Going back to graphics real quick, and this can kind of tie in with sound, is that when I was shooting my sniper rifle, I was actually standing next to someone, and they shot theirs too behind me, and you can actually see the smoke and the bullet trail come right by your head and pass you up and hit the enemy. And I thought that was fantastic. It was really cool.
I saw that. You pointed that out to me after a mission, and that was really funny. I impressed by that too. You know, it's just these little details that
Right.
really bring that world to life, especially when it's such a realistic style game.
Right.
You know, the Tom Clancy games and everything, they always stay in that realistic genre. So it's really that was pretty fantastic.
I thought the guns sounded really amazing too. They sounded kind of true to form, what the guns are supposed to sound like. I thought everything else, the environmental sound too as well.
That's what really got me, because like you mentioned before, I wasn't really paying too much attention. We were fighting people, and then all of a sudden we were going, and I can't remember if it was right when we went into the dark zone or a little bit before, but it started raining,
Right.
and that was amazing. It was really well done. It really sucked me into the world. I couldn't get enough of that. It was just everywhere. It was beautiful.
I completely agree. And the thing is though, when I got kicked off, I had to come back on, and they were already in the dark zone, so I had to make my way over there. But the cool thing is, well, maybe not so cool, but I didn't have any fast travel points from where we started to the
Right.
dark zone, so I had to kind of run all the way to the dark zone, which is probably 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers away. And it was pretty scary with the sound effects, the rain, the whole environment, the lightning storm, the clouds, and people charging at you like in the middle of nowhere. I thought it was pretty cool. I was very immersed in the game, and I think it's been a while, for me at least, to be immersed in a kind of a third-person shooter like that.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. It was a great experience sound-wise and immersion-wise.
Yeah, what'd you think of the environment? So I talked a little bit about, different things. I don't think did it rain in the first one?
It was snowing. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was going to be snowing the whole time. There wasn't a whole lot of change in environment.
Right.
They didn't really have a whole lot of difference in the areas. It was just a ton of snow, apocalypse snow in like New York, basically.
Right, that's right.
So that was the whole deal there. So this one being set more in the summer, more in Washington, D.C., you get a little bit more of the seasons. They're going to be able to play with that a little bit more of the different
Looks beautiful,
environments
yeah.
and such. So that's pretty cool that they're not painting themselves into a corner so much with that. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the fun factor, the replayability. What do you think? Is it good enough for you to come back over and over and say, you know what, I want to hop into the Division 2 again and do more things?
Yeah, I mean it's a real weird comparison to compare it right off the heels of, but you got to do something with Anthem since they're kind of close genres. I understand there's a ton of difference, between them. This being a sequel, Anthem being a first one, and then not to mention all the other things. But they're still third-person looter shooter style games, so I can't help. Since they're so close together, to do some sort of fun factor comparison, because ultimately that's what we're in this game to have fun. I personally am still having fun with Anthem, and I know a lot of people are having a lot of issues with it for sure, and I completely agree with basically everything everybody says. I just really love being Iron Man, so it's just
Right.
it's a fantasy for me that I'm being able to live out. But as far as the Division goes, I do see a lot more depth to the fun factor, the looting, the overall minute-to-minute action.
Right.
It felt really good. You can tell they were paying attention to the previous game. The very first Division, I only played for the first couple of months, and then I fell off after I completed everything, did
Right.
the first raid. I got bored really quick. So I know a lot of people who really enjoyed that experience after sticking with it, with all the updates and everything. I'm sure they would have a lot better view of what still is in the game that is maybe a little bit annoying. I don't really have that, so it feels very fresh to me coming off of 2 years from playing the first one. So any of you guys out there who maybe are in the same boat, played it for a couple of months until everything was done, it looks like it may be a lot better buy right out the gate.
Right.
Because it looks like the Dark Zone, it looks like all the differences they made with that look really good, and the changes they've made make the depth pretty beefy.
Right. So I actually loved the first Division. I played the game all the way through, just like you did. But it got to the point where when I entered the Dark Zone, other players would come in at a very high level and they would ambush you right at the get-go. So you'd go into the door and they'd be hiding like in the corner or in the alley somewhere, and you would get ambushed and die right away and respawn. And to me, that wasn't so much fun. So I'm not sure if they fixed that for this game, because we didn't get to play a lot of the Dark Zone right now for the
Correct.
beta. So it's exciting to see what happens with that. Also, I did get to play by myself. So as a solo person, solo gamer, doing the missions, and I got to play with you guys too as well. And I gotta say, if it's fun if you don't have any friends to play with, but it's really fun and amazing if you have a group of guys. And I think you can play up to, I'm not sure if this is for every version, but I believe I read for the PC version, you're able to play up to 8 players.
So, is that co-op?
Co-op. So
Really?
I don't think it's just the 4. I could be wrong. We should probably double check on that.
Probably double check.
We'll put right here he's wrong or he's correct.
Yeah.
But I think you can play up to 8 players, and that would be amazing because I think we did try to do that for the first division where we had 8 guys who wanted to play, and we tried to find each other in the dark zone.
Yeah.
And it didn't really work out too well, but I'm excited to see if you're able to do it for this version.
So, but what would you say as far as, would you be willing to put your money down? Would you be willing to suggest it just from what you played in the beta?
To answer your question, I think, again, if you have friends who can play on the same platform as you, even if it's just one other person, go ahead and get it. I would get it.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree with that. I mean, it looks really good. It seems like there's going to be quite a bit more to do right out the gate, which is usually my biggest issue, is when you get in, you blow through everything in a month and a half, 2 months, maybe. You've got a whole month of just repeating, rinse and repeat until more updates come out. That's where my biggest problem comes in. For me, that very grounded play is fun, but the gameplay has to be just so good. There has to be so much content to just keep going because it's going to be all pretty similar. So the loot has to be really good. I was having fun with that loot grind, so I can totally agree with that. If you got some friends that you're going to be able to get it day one, hop in there with you, I can't see you not getting your money's worth out of it. But for me personally, I will probably wait. I've just been burned too much. So the Division 2 really has that advantage. You can get the loot, you can put it on. There's not a whole lot stopping you in between missions. You can just get into a flow because that's what we were doing.
You can traverse in the world. There's a ton of people to fight right away. Different gangs are fighting. People are running at you out of like nowhere, behind you, in front of you, to the side. It's a really, it's stressful, but it's also a really fun game. They really want to put you in that world and feel like you're in it.
Yeah, you really do. You really do. And you just, before I knew it, like 2 or 3 hours had passed. And that's when you know you're really playing something fun. So, so that's kind of our endorsement for the Division 2. We did have a lot of fun.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I never would have thought, because I was like, there's no way I would ever even consider it after that first game and how it did me so wrong. It's going to pull a Destiny 2. I just know it. And but that really doesn't seem to be the case. He recommends it.
Day one purchase.
I would say if that's what you like, go for it. If you got other people to go in there with you and you've got the extra money, go for it. For me, I will be waiting until I'm for sure there's enough content in there. I just can't be fooled again. So you all make your decision. Tell us in the comments below. Give us a like. Give us that subscribe. It really helps us out if you like the video. Share it if you really, really liked it and you want to see everybody see these faces.
Right.
And
also let us know if there's any other games you want us to, just take a look at, try out, play, give a review for, or anything, really.
Or stream or anything like that. We're pretty much open to any suggestion.
Go ahead.
What?
No, I was just saying, I promise that CSGO stream is coming.
It's gonna come.
Road to Gold. That's what it's gonna be called. Road to Gold.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for us.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. It should be right over here. It should be a little arrow. Subscribe. I'll say, please subscribe right there. TruTalk out.
TruTalk out. I don't know why I felt like I needed to do it. Maybe we could do it again if you want to.
No,
like
I'm
together.
No.